Lately I've been thinking of all the losing that I've done in love. The wind she steals my sweet caress. Please fill me in your emptiness. Wait up for me. Wait up for me. I'll be coming home, so you don't have to be alone. Wait up for me. Wait up for me. I'll be coming home, so you don't have to be alone.
Disamela, yanulo shumlensi. Disamela, yondila shumlensi. Disamela, yondilo shumlensi. Disamela, yondila shumlensi.
Ähtjimin tugen lokehalmislät. Ikko muistelivtse muinne mannelänä. Ähtjäämet tunomain vaasua ja nonnet. Mä ilme veika mähtun vuoda tompaa sället. Ähtjimin turihka dikte soodin elämät. Männä revui olmus vuoda manne sootet. Ähtjäämet tu tahtu olla suhtet aina. Käfes mä näin häjö hoosin. Tahto konu. Atnu nälkäi läippi vuokaat, lähkää sämet. Ähtjäämet, särin ja suttu jandaasi. Manne ottaa ränkästi hain, viihemih. Ästäsi holmui pahaseret, koi ole puofia ala shipmil.
No matter where you come from No matter where you're going, here's a place where you can take comfort in the knowing that whether if you've come to stay a while or just passing through, this door is open to you. Come and let's be silent. Come and share a hug. Come, let's pray together. Come love and be loved. From the blissed out to the turned out, from the pampered to the abused, this door is open to you. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you, the God in you. Whether you're black or white or gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you.
Good morning, Claremont Center for Spiritual Living. How are you this morning? Good morning. Okay, so we're starting with our new order of service, which means you get to sing first. The words are in your program. Spirit is in this place. It's a song by Denise Rosier, if you know her. And it's a verse and a chorus and a lot of, some of this stuff. Okay, so ready? Give it a shot. Hit it.
Together as a family, we have come here as we are. We have come with arms wide open. We have gathered here in love.
Give yourselves a round of applause. All right, well, I'm Reverend Tracy Earlywine and delighted to welcome you here to this community of love and support and fellowship and all good things. I want to acknowledge our friends that watch us online. Everybody raise your hands and wave. We love you. Thank you for being with us, whether it's today live or later on YouTube. We are famous, you know that, right? We are all on YouTube. It's a good thing, yes? Yes, spreading love and light wherever we go. That's what we're here for. And I want to tell you a little bit about who's playing with me on platform this morning. Our practitioner is Patty Powers. Our practitioners do prayer, and they do it really, really well. If you would like a little spiritual support in your life, talk to Patty or one of our ministers or other practitioners after service. They'd be happy to sit with you and know a greater truth about whatever it is that you're carrying, whether you're celebrating something or struggling with something. They are really good at helping to center all of the thinking and the feeling back in alignment with spirit, with the greater truth of life. So do talk to your practitioners. They're here for you. We have some great music this morning. We welcome back the Jacksons. This is the Sunday of the month that the Jacksons donate their time, so there is a tip jar up front. So if you love the music, and of course you will, be sure that you support our musicians. This is their gift to us, and we like to let them know that we really appreciate them. Yes. All right, so let's take a moment and center down, shall we? I'm going to invite you to clear your laps and your minds. Maybe close your eyes, take a deep breath, and listen to the bowl. And as you breathe into that sound, move your attention to your heart space. that quiet place within that knows love, that knows peace, that lives in wisdom. For it is here in this place that we remember that you and I and Spirit are one.
And in this place, where we are one with all and one with each other, we know that this day is blessed. We know that this service is surrounded with love and blessings. And we know that each person here finds something about today that they can carry through to the week, something just for them. And we appreciate this time, this place, this service, knowing that it's a perfect way to start our day. And so with gratitude and love, we accept this blessing. And so it is. Good morning. I'll try not to knock anything else over. No, let's get this one. Today's reading is from Your Needs Met. And it's called Live Joyously. Today I am living enthusiastically, joyously. I am filled with life. I am flowing with life. God, at the very center of my being, is living through me. I greet this day with confidence and a feeling of zest as I let joy express from within. All that the Father hath is mine. All of the intelligence and wisdom, all of the abundance of life is mine to express in my living. This I am doing right now. Eagerly and confidently, I let life live through me. Thoughts of gloom and despair fade away, for they are not of God and have no power over me. Eagerly I step out into this day, knowing that divine inspiration leads the way and right ideas are mine to use. God is expressing through me as glorious right action in all of my affairs. There is nothing to fear. Today is mine. I live joyously, enthusiastically, spontaneously. This attitude gives power to all I do, and I rejoice, and so it is. Music?
Yes, music.
Please invite Larry and Rhonda Jackson.
When we come together, we create a circle of love. And when we raise our voices singing, we shine just like the sun. When we share our love, it strengthens the light in all of us. We were born to feel connected, born to share our love. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. And when we work together for love, our common ground, that feeling grows and travels to everyone around. Together love will lift us in this world that we all share, sending love to people around the world just because we care.
Help us out.
La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. I see our dreams coming true, a world united in truth, together working hand in hand. We make a difference when together we stand. When we come together, we create a circle of love. And when we raise our voices singing, we shine just like the sun. When we share our love, it strengthens the light in all of us. We were born to feel connected, born to share our love. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da.
Thank you. Fabulous as always. Thank you both. Thank you so much. All right. So we are, wait for it, lighting our candle today for Black History Month. And we're featuring today the theologian and activist and essayist and mystic Howard Thurman. Howard Thurman was born in 1899, lived to 1981. He was a Christian mystic, an educator, a leader. And his theology of radical nonviolence shaped a generation of civil rights activists, including Martin Luther King Jr. There was a time when Howard Thurman traveled to India on a 6-month learning expedition, you could say, and he met with Gandhi. And he asked Gandhi what message he should take back to the United States. And Gandhi said he regretted not having made more visible as a practice worldwide, nonviolence more visible as a practice worldwide, and remarked, "It may be through the Negroes that the unadulterated message of nonviolence will be delivered to the world." If you don't know the works of Howard Thurman, I encourage you to look him up, even if it's just some of the quotes. Probably his most famous is to keep before him help me out here. Of course, now I can't think of it. To keep before him the moments of his high resolve. So when you really get it, that you are called to something, and you say to yourself, this is it, this is mine to do, this resonates for me. And how easy it is for that to slip away once you get back into your daily life. And he was praying to have those moments of high resolve kept right in front of him, kept before him, to continue to lead him forward. He's a favorite author of mine. One of his quotes is, "The radical tension between good and evil as man sees it and feels it does not have the last word about the meaning of life and the nature of existence. There is a spirit in man and in the world working always against the thing that destroys and lays waste." He says there is a quiet courage that comes from an inward spring of confidence in the meaning and significance of life. Such courage is an underground river flowing far beneath the shifting events of one's experience, keeping alive 1,000 little springs of action. He's a very inspirational author and had quite the history. So that is our focus for this week. So we have a new theme, a new month. It's radical interconnection. Radical interconnection. And the title today is that same, radical interconnection. And what I'm looking at for the month is this awareness that our opinions and our appearances and our behaviors are unique to each one of us, and they can inspire curiosity, right? Or interest, or strife, and fear, and conflict. And the question for the month is, what happens if we shift our thoughts about differences that we have with each other to the oneness that we share? And this idea of oneness is spoken of by the ancient Greek philosophers as well as current day mystics. It's what we teach in New Thought. It's what the mystics of every spiritual and religious tradition get to, this idea that when you get rid of all the human stuff in the way, really we're all one. And the question, of course, is how do we live that? Because that's not what it looks like at all, especially now. So I started by defining the words radical and interconnection. So the word radical means originating in the roots, in the ground. It's what is essential, what is vital to life. When you think about a plant with its roots in the ground, that's where all the nourishment comes from. That's where the supportive foundation is laid. And underneath the soil, what you cannot see is that all of the roots of all of nature, they are intertwined. They overlap, they go in between each other, and in fact, in some species, they are actually connected. Did you know there's really only one aspen tree in the world? The roots of all the aspens in Colorado are one root system. They all connect one to another. So there is this sense of interconnectedness that is represented by the word radical, because in our root system, at our root, at our source of life, we're the same. The energy of life that animates each of us is the same for each of us. It shows up differently because we are like prisms that light shines through. It reflects a little bit differently, uniquely as us. And that is by design. But it was never meant to make us feel that we are completely separate one from another or completely other than some other form of life. Most indigenous cultures see life as one continuous whole, whether it's rock or bird or animal or the earth itself and people. It's one life. When we speak of oneness, let us not also lose the divinity in diversity. One tapestry, many threads. One window, many shards of stained glass. One rainbow, many colors. That's Reverend Dr. Raymond Anderson in Science of Mind magazine. We see differences because we're human and we live in the relative world, and our ego minds are trained to notice what's the same, what's different, what's safe, what's dangerous, what's right, what's wrong, all of the duality we deal with all the time. It takes a conscious effort to remind ourselves of the underlying spiritual truth of unity, of oneness, of a common life source. Now, I said that this was taught, this is not a new idea. This comes from the wisdom speakers of the ancient philosophers. So Marcus Aurelius was a Roman Empire and a Stoic philosopher living in 121 to 180 AD. And the Stoics' philosophy was one of self-restraint, duty, and respect for others. And he said, all things are linked with one another, and this oneness is sacred. There is nothing that is not interconnected with everything else. For things are interdependent, and they combine to form this universal order. There is only one universe made up of all things, and one creator who pervades them. There is one substance and one law, namely common reason in all thinking creatures, and all truth is one, if, as we believe, there is only one path of perfection for all beings who share the same mind. When we understand our consciousness as the ground of our being, as the source of how we live and who we are in and as life, we realize that there isn't anything I do that doesn't affect you somehow. There isn't anything you do that doesn't ripple out into the world. We know we are bombarded by everybody else's ripples, but we sometimes forget that what we say and think and do and believe and put out there has an effect. If not on the people around us or the world at large, if nothing else, on ourselves. It's the same idea as ahimsa, which is from the Jainist tradition in India. And that word is sometimes translated as a reverence for life or nonviolence or dynamic compassion. Don't we all need a bit more dynamic compassion these days? So Ram Dass says science and religion both teach that we're all interconnected and thus interdependent. And at the very core, we are all one. But how do we live it as if we know this, right? Our modern mystics also teach oneness. Eckhart Tolle says what Buddhists have always known, physicists now confirm. There are no isolated things or events. Underneath the surface appearance, all things are interconnected, are part of the totality of the cosmos that has brought about the form that this moment takes. These are not new ideas to us. This is what Science of Mind teaches. We've heard this in these walls for a long time. But how do you reconcile Sunday morning with what's out there? What's on Facebook? What happens around the dinner table? Who your friends used to be, right? So I think we start by understanding. We understand the relationship between all of these apparent polarities. And anytime we seek understanding, we have to start inside ourselves, because a lot of the arguments that go on in life are in our own heads, right? It's this, no, it's this. I believe this except for that. I love everybody except you. It's a constant conversation. I love everybody except myself. When was the last time you called yourself a name silently inside thinking no one would hear? Not that long ago, right? Yeah. Everything within us is also interconnected. Pope John Paul II, in my reading and my studies, I always tried to achieve a harmony between faith, reason, and the heart. These are not separate areas. They are profoundly interconnected, each giving life to the other. right? We know that we need to be in balance, body, mind, and spirit. If you do not have your health, it is really hard to think clearly, to make good choices, to move your body. If you are afraid or extremely angry, it is so difficult to think clearly, to make good choices, to move in a way that is healthy. We are called all the time to do our inner work, to remind ourselves of where we come from. What are we rooted in? We are rooted in spirit. We are of the Spirit. How many of you are children of the 60s? You have a little bit of the characteristics of the 60s living in you still, right? There's a tie-dye something in your closet somewhere. There's a mandala on the wall somewhere. To have the characteristics of means you take on some of the attributes of whatever it is you are a child of. Well, we are all children of the Most High. We all have the attributes that we attribute to spirit. We have wisdom, we have peace, we have intelligence, we have clarity, we have joy, we have beauty, we have love. That is what we are rooted in. That is what we come and grow from. The challenge is to live from that. To remind ourselves often enough of who we really are so that when we show up in the world or with each other or around a topic, we are doing so from that energy and not simply as a reaction to whatever is coming at us. You all know people who walk into a room and change the tone of the room, for better or for worse. They walk in and they bring their energy with them. Well, guess what? So do you. And when you consciously choose the energy you want to live from, that is the energy that you bring into a conversation or a situation or a comment section. It's up to you. It's up to each of us to show up as our best, our most unique, our clearest self. Which means we have to know what that is. And we're learning all the time. We're learning all the time. So we understand that we start within to find a balance, to remember a greater truth, that we have an awareness of the bigger picture, which allows us to make a conscious choice in each and every situation. Ernest Holmes teaches, too, that we're already connected. It has already all been given. And we live it to the degree that we accept it. Like, if I don't really believe that love is who I am, I'm only going to show up as love sometimes. If I can't really get behind the idea that a divine wisdom works in me, I'm going to mouth off to people. Now, I will say that given, the depth of my spiritual experience, I tend to only mouth off when I'm in the car by myself. At all you people who drive so crazy. But the truth is, the intention is to live from a place of that dynamic compassion. That living, breathing, moving, adaptable, accepting, understanding that we're all doing our best, whether I agree with you or not. And that I can show up as my best self when I choose to, as long as I'm paying attention. See, connectedness isn't really putting one thing to another with something in between it. When we talk about interconnectedness, we're saying we are all part of the whole. So science says it this way. Capra says that gradually physicists began to realize that nature at the atomic level doesn't appear as a mechanical universe comprised of fundamental building blocks, but rather as a network of relations. And that ultimately there are no parts at all in this interconnected web. Whatever we call a part is merely a pattern that has some stability, And that captures our attention. So, said another way, Bell's theorem took the idea that Einstein had that there were all these building blocks in the universe connected to each other, and that's how things were created, that's how things worked, that's how things were made. Bell's theorem says there aren't separate parts joined by local connections. It says the universe is fundamentally interconnected, interdependent, and inseparable. So we may look different. The leaves on the tree may look like they are separate from each other, but we are all connected at our roots, at the source of life. Quantum physics says there's no such thing as a part. We're not separated parts of a whole, but rather we are the whole. When we see ourselves as separate from each other, there's room for divisiveness, for distance. There's room to misunderstand or to make judgments or to withdraw completely. You're other than me, stay away from me. I don't want to live next door to you. I don't understand your language. The things that divide us are based on a premise that we are all separate from each other and therefore to be feared. Because if we are separate, then we are different. Now, I'm glad that some people cook differently than I do, because that means I eat very well. Otherwise, it might be a little dicey. You know, I'm happy that the planet has different climate zones, because when I go visit, I am awed and appreciative, and something in me expands. So the differences we have are meant to be appreciated. But I can only do that if I feel safe within the knowledge that we are all of one life, that we are all of an energy, and truly we all in our hearts want the same thing. We want love, we want to be loved, we want our kids to do well, we want to see people succeed, we want peace, we want enough to eat, we want to be creative. And this is true in every language. So I think one of the best metaphors for understanding our interconnectedness is the web. You've probably heard of Indira's web. Every faith tradition, Matthew Fox teaches, every faith tradition offers an image of a sacred web into which we are woven. We are the glittering jewels at each intersection of the net, reflecting all of the other jewels. And that web goes off into infinity. If you think of a single string, it's easy enough to break or to cut. If you think of a woven tapestry, it is strong. It will hold weight. It will last. If you think of a web like a net, it can carry tons. Fishermen's nets lift tons from the ocean. Seeing ourselves as a single strand makes it really difficult to keep from being overwhelmed by the world, from thinking that we have to handle or manage or live through whatever's going on. It's overwhelming. We're not designed to live in overwhelm all the time. Our minds don't work that way. There's lots of psychological studies on what happens when too much comes at you at once. We shut down. We can't deal. And I don't know about you, but that's kind of my experience of the world right now. There's a whole lot of stuff going on. And all of it's important. Some of it is urgent. All of it together is more than I can think about, and I'm a smart girl. So what we're taught to do is to focus first within and to know ourselves and know what is of value to us personally. And focus on those areas of life because that's where our passion is, which is where our power is. And to realize that we take care of business, any kind, we take care of life best when we are woven together. That the resilience and the strength and the power comes from that tapestry of ideas and opinions and energies. That we do not stand alone. And so this month we're going to be talking a lot about where do you connect with life? How do you connect with life? Where would you rather not be connected with life? And how to understand ourselves and where we come from, the root system that we are grounded in, how to use that in life to navigate in a way that brings life to all of us. Ram Dass says also, we are affecting the world every moment, whether we mean to or not. Our actions and states of mind matter because we are so deeply interconnected with one another. Never think that what you do or think or say is not important. Whoever told you that in your life, they lied. Maybe out of ignorance, maybe for malice, but it wasn't true. What you think, what you say, the actions you take, the choices you make, ripple endlessly. Our call is to make sure that we are doing it in support of life, in support of love, in support of peace, that we might be those things we wish to see in the world. And any one of us does not change the whole world, but the whole world does not change unless each one of us does. The antidote to overwhelm, besides taking some kind of action, that always helps us feel better, do something, anything, is also to pause and rest and laugh and renew ourselves, nourish ourselves, go back to source and feed ourselves on the greater truth. If I'm scrolling through Facebook, not that I do that a lot, but yes, I do. Right now everything's filled with everybody's political opinions and comments and more opinions and news articles. And it can be really depressing because it's just forever. And then I come across a post of my 2.5-year-old niece out in the middle of the grass in the park with her mama and her Gigi dancing to reggae. It changes everything, right? It changes everything. I move out of that place of overwhelm, of reaction, of anger, of frustration, of depression, of overwhelm. I get out of that because I am in the joy of this baby dancing in the grass with her family. I need that in order to show up in the world again. You need that, like you need a good night's sleep. Like you need to walk away from an argument or a meeting or something where you're trying to figure something out. Walk away from it and come back and see things you didn't see before. Have ideas you didn't have before. I'm going to guess that if you're writing a song, and it's not one of those that just dumps and shows up on the paper, that you can play with it and play with it and play with it and play with it, and then you finally put it down, and then maybe 2 months later you come back and go, oh, move this around, put that up there, stick that word in, perfect. Give yourselves a break, people. Find something to laugh at, to enjoy. Come here, be inspired, read a book. You remember books. If you can't read, listen to them on tape. And make them fun. They don't all have to be informative. They don't all have to teach you how to manage your money or manage politics or manage your relatives. They could just be something that makes you laugh. Any Three Stooges fans? Not me, but my brothers, yeah. There's a couple of you out there. That was for the guys in the room. I don't know. Well, okay, I'll take I Love Lucy any day. Find something. Me TV, it's your friend. Because the truth is, the roots that we are grounded in come from joy. And joy is the best antidote to overwhelm. Happiness is the easiest way to move forward in a world that seems dark. It's the best way to brighten your own light so you can see where you're going, so you can see who's standing beside you. So maybe even you join hands. Ernest Holmes says to tell yourself over and over again that the quality of love lies within you and that it is only natural for you to be expressing it. Namaste. I invite you to take a moment with me as we center in prayer. Breathing into that heart light at the center of our being. Reminding ourselves from within that there is love that swirls around us and within us and between us even now. Even now. And that love is truly the most powerful energy in life. Fierce or quiet, bubbling or blowing, love is the very energy, the very power of all that we are. It is truly another name for God, for Spirit, for Buddha, for Allah. Love is the energy of life. And this life is one life. And this one life is good. And so I open myself to the idea of infinite possibilities of good. I trust and know that the inspiration that I have, the inspiration that others have, works for the good of all. And that all that I do and think and say and believe adds to that goodness of life. For the life that I am is the life of all. The energy of life is one of wisdom and clarity and peace. And it is the truth of me. It is the truth of everyone. And where it does not appear to be so, I choose to remind myself that at our core, we are the same. That in our essence, life is, love is. And where healing is called for, I bring my love, my light, my assuredness, my trust that good is possible and unfolding even here, even now. I know too that each and every one of us desires peace and plenty. That we know the possibility of the good life is already true. And I speak a word that every action, every word, every desire, every intention is to further that good's expression in life. All that is mine to do is made clear. And in this knowing, I give great thanks. For what is true for me is true for all. That which we know to be good for ourselves lifts everyone. And that which is true, which is good, is unfolding now in time and space, in ways seen and unseen, all from that one source, that one life, that energy of all good. Here, now, always, and in all ways. And so it is. In your program, there is an affirmation. I invite you to repeat it after me. I am life expressing. I am life expressing. And so it is. All right. Let's have a little more music, shall we? Come on up. Welcome back to Jackson's. And just a reminder, they have a tip jar in the front for right after service.
Well, hello, everybody. Amazing. Amazing. Usually before we do the second song, I get to say a little something, or I take the time to say a little something, and look out there and see all the people I know and all the people that I don't. But I never know what I'm going to say about these songs. Okay, in this particular situation, we picked a song that we had written before, and you were talking a little bit about writing a song, and that sometimes you have to go back to it later to finish it. Well, I have a tendency to finish songs, and then I have a tendency to change them. And they change for as long as I play the song, because I change. Okay, and this is a song about the awareness of our individual changes. This is called I Get Up Every Morning, and the first couple of lines are, I used to get up every morning when the sun came up and pour a little coffee in my coffee cup. Okay, well, I still get up every morning when the sun comes up, and I still pour myself a little coffee. But as the song goes on, it talks about changes. I don't see things the same. It's constantly changing. And hopefully this will take a little time and realize that every day we're changing, and every day it's getting a little better, you know, if that's the direction you're going. I used to get up every morning when the sun came up, pour a little coffee in my coffee cup, think about the things that I might do that day, say a little prayer and I'd be on my way. But now I found that there's so much more than living life the way I did before. Life's so full of opportunity. Now I see that it's all up to me. Something's changed and I don't worry no more. Seems like trouble passes by my door. I feel awake, alive, and so inspired. Guess you could say I fell in love with life. Now every day my spirit lifts me high. When I look up, seems I can touch the sky. I spread my wings and I've learned to fly. Now I can laugh and watch the clouds roll by. I used to wake up every morning when the sun came up, pour a little coffee in my coffee cup, think about the things I need to do that day, say a little prayer and I'd be on my way. But now I found that there's so much more than living life the way I did before. Life's so full of opportunity. Now I see that it's all up to me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I just want to play that song on repeat. Right? It's just like over and over. This is it. This is it right here. Thank you so much. Next time we'll have you sing the song first and I don't have to talk. All right. This is our time of contribution. This is our exchange of energy that says, I am here. This is my spiritual home. These are my people, my buildings, my philosophy, and I'm here to support it. And the fact that you do is what enables us to do what we do. So thanking you for all of the past contributions. I want to let you know that your tax donation letters are in the back of the room. Reverend Mary can grab that for you so that you have your paperwork. If there's somebody you know that's not here, don't worry, we'll mail them out if you're not here to pick it up. But if you have contributed in the past, we do have a statement for you for tax purposes. And for today, we're just going to take a collection in joy, because what we know is that we can't outgive the Spirit. We cannot outgive God. We can give into what feeds us, and we are then fed some more. So if I invite the ushers to come forward and invite you to say with me our prosperity affirmation. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prosperous now. So thank you. For those of you online, there's a donation button on our website. You can also text to give. There's a phone number on little business cards in the back of the room if you want to take one of those with you. And I had something else I was going to say that went right out of my head. Just so you know, it's not just you. It happens to everybody. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll just say a word of gratitude. When in doubt, be grateful. Yes? Are we grateful? Yes, we're grateful. All right. Excellent. We have a couple of announcements. First of all, the flowers. These flowers are donated by Chris McDowell, and they are in memory of longtime member Mary Barlow. Many of you knew Mary. She made her transition this last month, and for many years, she was a fixture in this congregation. Her family is having a private service today, but we wanted to acknowledge her here because she was so much part of the fabric of this congregation for so long. So we remember her with great gratitude, and thank Chris for the flowers as well.
And she was an excellent violinist.
I didn't know that. She was an excellent violinist. Wow, she was a woman of many talents. She's part of the founding families of Claremont, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so long history here. All right, we have, you got a little handout from Reverend David. It's a little affirmation. If you didn't get one, he can get one to you. There's some in the back on the back table. So it's you can use it as a bookmark, which is probably what I'll do with it, about being the master of your own life, right? Everybody needs to be reminded of that, that's for sure. All right, our new class coming up is The Power of Your Word, which is on Tuesday night starting on February 18th, so a couple weeks from now. If you haven't already, sign up in the back. The class information is there, and Reverend Mary can answer any questions for you. We're also collecting names and phone numbers if you are interested in our foundational class, which is really the basics of what we teach, but designed in class to give you a personal experience of it. So if you are interested in taking a class to know more about science of mind and the practice of it, then put your name on the list, and we'll talk about dates and times and things once we know who's interested, and we'll make it work for everybody. Wednesday night meditation on Zoom at 6:30. The link is on our website and also in the email. And that is a great way to spend a half an hour with practitioner Nisa Burrows, being centered on Wednesday nights. A reminder that our annual meeting is coming up at the end of the month, so Sunday after service on the 23rd. It's a potluck. Bring food, bring yourself. If you're like me, you don't have to cook a lot. Just, chip and dip works just fine for most of us. So it is a potluck. We'll have lunch together over in the hall. We'll come back for our meeting. It's a great way to sort of get the big picture of what's going on in the center and what we're looking at doing the next year, telling you a little bit about our highlights from the previous year, and electing a couple new board members, because our board is set up to rotate. We have different people coming on and off every year, and that does a couple of things. Part of what we want is to hear everyone's voice. And be on the board is to represent a certain section of the congregation. And so when we have everyone's voice at the table, we as a group, as a community, as an organization, move forward with the intention of supporting everyone that comes through our doors. So I invite you to think about being on the board. If you're interested, neither one of our nominating committee people are here today. It's Mickey or Chris. But talk to one of our board members, talk to Reverend Mary, talk to me, and just see if that's something that might interest you. We'd love to have you. Reverend Drack is on the board too. Diane's not here. Johnny's here. So yeah, you can get an idea of what it's like. Oh, and there's Sally too. Yeah, see, I can't see anything from up here. What I can tell you. Let's see. Oh, I do want to remember, because I've forgotten the last 2 weeks, if you would leave your song sheets in the back of the room, we'll put them in next week's bulletin too. You're more than welcome to take your bulletin home for the affirmation, anything, the prosperity affirmation, you can use that all the time. Feel free to keep the covers. But the song sheets we'd love to have back so that we can continue to use them. Let's see. What else? Anything exciting going on I should know about? Any pet projects you want to get started? Any community outreach you want to get us involved in? We're always looking for ways to support our community. We do still have our basket in the back for non-perishable food items that we take to the Foothill Family Shelter. Also, if you'd like to donate clothes or hygiene products or anything that might be helpful to folks that need a little extra hand, please bring them in. We take them over there regularly. So that could be hand lotion or gloves or hats or clothes or shoes or whatever you think of. We have enough to spare and to share, and that's what we like to do. All right, I think, why do I think I'm missing something? Told you about the letters? Okay, I guess we're good. I think we should stand up, move to the aisles, and sing a song, shall we?
Take a look at the person next to you and say, God loves you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love, from every walk
lavender moonlight playing, makes believe nobody can see. And then he waits, and then he fades, and then he bends, and then he shakes. He plays and plays, still playing till he goes off to sleep. Kiko and the lavender moonlight dancing, making faces at a big black cat. And then he flies up to the wall, stands on one foot, doesn't even fall. Dad